Back for the second half of our doubleheader, the Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent along with you. We're going to start with Bay City Central. And they lost a very key person to early graduation, and that was their inside presence at 6'5", 2 1/4, and Michael White.
Interesting thing about Mike White, last year was his first year playing basketball. He was a wrestler at Central his freshman and sophomore years, so I don't think he expected much from himself. He was just coming out for the team. He ended up being a key guy on that team. A very tough six-man, a rebounder, and became a scorer near the end of the season. And now he's gone.
Now Central is going to be 6'1" and below. So obviously their perimeter game is of huge importance, but they've got two young guns that played full seasons last year and now a sophomore and a junior.
Yeah, that's DeMarcus Allen and Cam Washington. I just saw the first game for Central the other night. They played Grand Blanc. Now, Grand Blanc is really some kind of a team, so we couldn't judge too much. But I wanted to mention Cam Washington scored 12 points against the best team in the state of Michigan, so you know he's going to get his this year.
Well, and you got Coach Doobie, you know. He's on that hallowed second floor over at Bay City Central. Wait a minute, that's the floor you're on,
That's
too.
right.
When he got his choice of rooms, he said, hey, Mr. Vincent's on second floor. I want to be there right at the elbow. But we get the chance to see him in the halls every day, and he's just like everybody else. He's just excited to be finally playing basketball.
Absolutely. He's one of us. We're all we are all so happy to have winter sports. It's so weird. Right now would be the time that the district championship started, so it sort of feels like we're in a time warp. But it feels great to be watching winter sports here at Bay City Western High School tonight.
We switch gears and we now go with the Western Warriors. I perused the hallways at Thomas Lincoln Handy Middle School last year and got to spend a lot of time with DeMario Walker. And he also is one of those young gun next generation guys that are looking to have some nice, long, stable years in the program.
I got to believe this guy can put it together here at Bay City Western. It's a basketball town. They love basketball. They've got some basketball history. Matt Costello wasn't too long ago. Walker's looking to put together some pieces.
And without Frizel, or with Frizel, without Kaiser, they're going to have a scorer that is going to be able to play inside and outside. That is the key for me, Central's defense against Jack Frizel tonight.
Yep. It's very early in the season. We're going to see the athletes take control of the action, and Frizel is definitely one of the athletes to watch for the Warriors. I remember that guy from the Bay FL years ago, and that guy ruled the roost on that field.
It will be fun. We just got a minute before the start of the game. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The best is yet to come. That concludes the Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV.
Covenant Healthcare. We see this every day. As the region's leader, Covenant has the best emergency and trauma team for adults and children. Because on an ordinary day, you just may need the extraordinary.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent, along with Jared Doan. Now, you remember what home court meant last year in this series? Central blew Western out on Central's home court, came back out here later in the year, and Western returned the favor. I believe there was about a 75-point swing between the margin of victory of those two teams last year.
I do remember that well. We talked about rivalry and the importance of that in game one of tonight's doubleheader. You could tell that. No matter the talent, these guys know each other, and there's no getting to know you period in a rivalry. They start swinging right off the whistle, and you can see that right here, right now.
As that shot went
Last year, when one team gets you by 10, that's on your mind all year long until you get to see them again.
As both teams have got a heavy rush of adrenaline here in the opening moment of this ball game. As Western is looking to move that ball around right now. Western with a little bit of a size advantage, but Central may have a touch more speed. The shot goes up from Adamczyk and is no good. One and done as Central gets the rebound and quickly down the floor. McCullough with a crossover dribble. Might have been able to finish at the hole, but dishes it out. Washington deep on the left-hand wing. Boy, great defense as the ball goes down on the ground, and Allen does a nice job getting that back. Shot is up from Washington, and there's going to be a foul on the play. He's going to earn 2 from the stripe.
Gutsy drive by Washington there. Takes the hard foul, gets to go to the line.
Might be a little sore right now as he finds out that hardwood is called hardwood for a reason.
I tell you, those 17-year-old kids take a fall like that, it hurts for 2 minutes. You and I do that, we're in the hospital the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, we're rubbing all sorts of stuff on it to get it healthy.
Right.
So, to be young again. First point of the ball game belongs to Bay City Central. Second free throw attempt. Up and a little bit short. Fight for the loose ball. And we're going to have a jump. Well, we're going to have a travel. What happens with the travel is when you have 2 players from the same team with 2 hands on the ball, that constitutes a travel.
I tell you what, I've been watching basketball since I was 10 years old. I can't remember ever seeing that.
That is not something you see very often as Western gets into the offensive set. They're trying to get that ball into Bacigalupo, as he does a great job of going around, and that ball is tipped away, but recovered. Long 2-point shot off the mark again. What a great job by Cameron Washington with that backside rebound.
Yep. Terrific box out.
Again, adrenaline is huge right now for both of these teams, and they're not really in a rhythm yet. Maybe give them another 30 seconds or so, and I think they'll start to settle down.
In a rivalry showdown like this, there's an urge to land the first punch because that can make the difference for a while, and both teams are trying to land it right now.
We may have blood on a person and or a jersey. As
Speaking of the first punch, right?
See, you made it a little bit too literal, Mike. So they'll check out and see if they can clean up whatever looks like it might be a finger or a hand, and it might be Kaz. Ball kicked and is out of bounds. What a great inbound, and unfortunately that one was not there. What are we going to have for a foul here? This is going to be interesting as Bacigalupo was battling with Cameron Washington.
Looks like they are going to get Washington with his first personal foul. Bacigalupo goes to the line for 2 for the Warriors.
Little strong with the first offering. Second free throw attempt forthcoming. Little nice adjustment and split of the 2 at the free throw line. We're all knotted up at 1 here in the first 2 minutes of this great crosstown rivalry. Washington trying to make something happen. Allen gives it back to Washington. Great give and go, just unable to finish. Big time rebound coming down by the Western Warriors, Gillis.
Everything looked nice about that give and go except one little thing there at the end.
Just the finish. Long shot up, and that shot is missed by Frizzell. As again, 2.5 minutes into the first quarter, only 2 total points scored. We're going to have an offensive foul, and that's going to go against Carlo Harris as he just tried to throw that hip, and you've got to be stationary and set. And with 3 officials, they're not going to miss that very often.
And in a rivalry game, as you know, Jeff, referees do have to set some kind of a tone early or things can get a little chippy by the second half.
Bacigalupo underneath, lets the shot go. There's a little bit of contact, but unable to finish. Allen dribble penetrates, and he's going to earn 2 at the stripe.
Drives to the hoop, draws a foul.
Adamczyk will pick up the foul.
Allen with a nice little shake and bake to go to the hoop. He's going to get 2 here at the stripe.
First one a little bit off the mark. And to me, there's no better way to get into a shooting rhythm than to go to the free throw line early and sink a couple. You feel good about your shot, and they drop. Let's see if he can adjust on the second. He splits the pair, and they have a 2-1 lead here as we played almost 3 minutes in the first quarter here at Bay City Western.
And as we saw in the first game of tonight's doubleheader, free throws early can make a difference late in the game.
Frizzell with a nice job. Gillis with the putback off the Frizzell miss. Pushes it in off the glass. We'll go to the go to the free throw line to try and earn the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Luke Gillis battles for the board, gets an important 2 early in the game for the Warriors, and he'll see if he can add one to it right here.
He's a pretty thick, solid kid at 6'1". Nice touch on the free throw.
Just thinking that Coach Doan, I used to coach wrestling, and if I was working at Bay City Western, that guy looks like my 189-pounder. I think I'd be talking to him in mid-September about that.
Allen with a beautiful dribble penetration, pulls up free throw extension. A real nice presentation for the Deuce.
Beautiful stop and pop for Allen there. Tied at 4 here early on in the second half of tonight's doubleheader.
Here goes Bachkalupo to the hole. He can't finish. And down the floor on a controlled fashion into the front court comes Central.
Oh, my.
Allen from way downtown can't get that to drop. Gillis with the rebound. And very quickly Frost into the front court. He had a crossover dribble. Frizzell trying to take it strong to the hole. And a little miscommunication. The ball last touched by Central will go back over to Western with halfway done with the first quarter of play, knotted up at 4. Mm-hmm. So Kazanowski gets everything fixed up, and he's coming back into the ball game.
Oh, my.
And Kazanowski picks up a foul on Frizzell, and that's just a little bit of the crosstown rivalry. And, both of them quarterbacks during the football season, so they both led their respective teams. So neither one of them willing to give an inch. They're both tough kids, too.
That's right.
I love to watch the way they both play.
Kazanowski was, as you mentioned, quarterback for Central. Young quarterback for Central, but as you said, he's got about 1,000 pounds of guts in a 155-pound frame.
Well, and he was kind of pushed into the job, too, due to an injury, but responded very well. We got a timeout on the floor. Warriors will take our first break with 3:48 left in the first quarter. Tied at 4, Central and Western, right here on Bay County TV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating, both meeting current state guidelines. And we are ready for you with takeout, too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent along with you. Jared Doan on the camera tonight. Jack Frizzell inbounds the ball as they slide that thing back up top. Western going to be patient. Frizzell sends that thing back over to Gillis. Trying to move it around the horn. Great job underneath by Lars Ridley. What a great job from an impossible angle to kiss that off the glass for 2.
Gutsy baseline drive. Legs taken out from under him. Not afraid to go to the floor to get the deuce for Western. Warriors up by 2.
Kazanowski playing some very, very tough defense. And he's going to pick up a technical foul, I believe. He got into the face a little bit and just gave him the stare down. And, some people are going to let that go and others are not. And he's got to take a deep breath right now because it's very important that number 3 doesn't happen. But I think he's going to probably have to come out of the game for a little bit unless Coach Doobie can ride with him for a while.
And Coach Doobie, I think it's his mission right now to get Kazanowski dialed down to about a 9 instead of a 52.
Exactly.
Frizzell at the line, shooting the technical fouls for the Warriors.
And again, I think their best player is on the free throw line with an opportunity to hit a couple of strokes. Let's see the ensuing possessions if he makes that second free throw. If that does not adjust into some early easy baskets for him forthcoming.
It is important for Central right now to remain their composure and, well, regain their composure. We're early on here. Central's only down by 4. But the Warriors seem like a momentum team, and they can get off to a quick start now.
Well, it's a good thing nobody was sitting in the front row there as that ball got knocked out of bounds. And that one, somebody could have had Rawlings tattooed on their forehead.
That's number 23, Thomas Brown for Bay City Central, also a tough kid. Senior, paid his dues in the basketball program. I had him in class earlier this year, and I could tell he was really dialed up for this season to start.
Being an official for as long as I've been an official, the officials on the floor right now are sending a message to the kids. We will not allow this to accelerate to the next level. Adjust your game or we're going to be spending the rest of it at the free throw line.
That's right. It's a great point, Jeff. And I got to believe that's kind of in the coaches' in their lesson plan agendas during the week. Look, it's a rivalry game, and these referees are going to be dialed in the first quarter to keep you guys toned down. So mistakes or loss of composure could cost us a lot. Let's be careful out there.
8-4, still a great game. Allen with the free, the 12-footer from the wing, couldn't get it to go. One and done as the rebound comes down to the Western Warriors as Frost is into the front court. They're taking their time. Boys Central with some great defense a long ways from the basket. Little shot goes up off the miss. And that was Wilcox. As that was his
Central
first shot.
Obviously not with a lot of size this year. The challenge is going to be rebounding, and it's going to come down to technique this year to keep them in the game. So far we've seen some of that.
Again, the beauty of shooting the long shot is the potential for the long rebound. Central with 3 opportunities on the offensive end that time. Couldn't come up with a basket. Frizzell, fresh off the 2 free throws, feeling the groove, hitting the triple.
Yep.
Coach Doobie calls the timeout.
That's right.
After a little 7-0 run by the Western Warriors. We'll be back in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back on Bay County TV as we watch the Central Wolves again. Mike, you always got to watch out of the timeout to see the offensive set that Bay City Central runs based on what Coach Doobie wanted. They've got to get a great shot. They certainly need a basket. Let's see how they go about trying to make that thing go through the twine. Great look, just a little bit too much on the pass.
Central just a little bit out of sync in their second game of the season.
Well, this game, too, is a totally different pace than what they saw the other night with Grand Blanc, too.
It sure is.
That shot's off the mark, but who ends up being the best person capable of getting a rebound is the shooter. You know where that shot's looking like it's going. You go to the basket, and you've got the best chance to get that rebound because you know where it should be coming off the rim. Frost gets the ball now, tries to come back up front. Boy, great defense by Central. Frost gets it back. Going strong to the hole. The shot comes up just a little bit short from Ridley. As Central with a great job defensively. There's a long shot that's halfway down the hole and can't get it to finish, and that's Thomas Brown. Trying to come back up the top. Very nice job of Central recognizing, just reset the show, run another set.
Looks like Doobie in that last timeout did tell these guys to settle down a little bit. Like, let's run some plays, guys. We're not going to run these guys off the court. It's going to take some teamwork to get back in this.
As Brown again has to send that ball over. And there's another turnover. All the way to the hole with a deuce, coast to coast.
Number 4, Lars Ridley from end to end for the Warriors.
9-0 run right now that Western is on over Bay City Central. Dribble penetration, great backside look. Unable to finish. Here comes Western. Frizzell with a nice fingertip. It's going to drop at the end of the first quarter. It's 15-4, Western over Central. Back in a moment for the second quarter on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent along with you as Western, off the alternate possession, has the first possession of the second quarter.
And a 9-point cushion to start that second quarter.
Central with some tough defense, but they've got to be careful because already in the bonus, based on some early fouls, little baby hook on the left-hand side. That is Kench, boy, showing a little bit of touch with the baby hook on the left side. Here comes Frizzell. You know he's going to finish at the basket. Strong to the hole with the deuce. It's 19-4 right now. Central is in dire need of a great offensive set and a finish for a deuce.
And
they get the basket and to the free throw line.
Just
they
what
needed
Dr.
to stem
Doan
the
ordered
tide.
there. Huh?
Wow, I tell you, if they listened to me like that all the time, I'd be in education.
Nice drive by number 3, Lejane McCullough, going for the 3.
They go for the 3, but, you know, the kids love to call it the and one.
Yep.
That is one of their favorite phrases. I say go to the line to finish off the free throw with the old-fashioned three-point way. Before there was that big stripe out there. Frizzell had a great defense come out on him. He's going to get a 5-second count. He just gets it to Frost in time. Frost doing a nice job saying, yep, I'm going to reset it up. Cameron Washington is just inside his shorts, playing great defense right now, moving his feet, not allowing the defender to get past. And now they fight for the rebound, and it comes down to Bay City Central as Gross with that rebound. Great look with dribble penetration again. Forced that pass in. Western saw it coming, stole the ball. And another empty trip down the floor for the Bay City Central Wolves. And again, they got to come up with some big defensive stops and then get some points offensively before this game gets too much more than 13-point spread.
Right now it looks like Central is torn between two bad things. They're either not running plays and trying to force the shot, or they're running plays but trying to force the plays, and they still have to find their groove.
There was a great pass on the inside to Gross, but they just couldn't get the finish. But that is the type of looks you want offensively. Being able to finish it at this point's a bonus. Rolling off the iron as Ridley couldn't get it to drop. Again, Central doing a nice job on the glass. So
and a
another
little
turnover.
sloppy on the possession. Here comes the Warriors.
18-footer in the corner. That shot was off the mark, and we're going to have a big tie up on the floor, and Central's going to come down with the possession into the hands of Laster.
Quite a scrum there for the rebound.
And we're going to have a foul. Well, they're going to call that on Grayson Baker.
That's right.
Tough call.
18 fouls already for Bay City Central. Western in the bonus. Now in for the Warriors, number 10, Luke Failing. That's number 2, Jack Frizel at the line. We only have 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Frizel's got 14 and counting.
Boy, I knew that he would be the go-to on this basketball team, and he certainly has led by example thus far. What a nice, sweet, smooth stroke. It's a simple stroke, but whenever it finishes with all cotton, you know it's a great shot.
Yeah.
We got a sub coming in that they will allow, and that'll be Bacigalupo coming into the ball game, replacing Wilcox. Second free throw attempt comes up a little bit short. Rebound comes down to Cameron Washington. Cam Washington is fouled on the play by Cookenmaster. Got to play under control right now as 8-4 of team fouls in this stretch as Kasanowski comes back into the ball game and seeing if he can put a little spark into this Central team.
And among other things, I got to believe Coach Doobie told Kasanowski, look, man, we need your spirit, but we also need you on the floor. Let's channel that aggression into something that we can use tonight.
Love to see when a kid hits the floor to have his teammates race up to pick him up off the floor. That's the teamwork and unity you love to see from your group of kids. Those are little things that a lot of people don't see and pay attention to. Cameron Washington at the line, a little strong on the first offering.
That is a great point, Jeff, and that's something I saw with a football team at Bay City Central this year, and a lot of these guys play football. This is a tight-knit group. They believe in each other, and they expect good things from one another. And Kasanowski is one of the leaders of this group.
He just is an all-systems go young man. I really like the way that he leaves it all out on the floor, on the football field, whatever he's doing. As they're running the weave right now, shot is up just a little bit short, and we're going to have a little push in the back. In the day, Mike, that used to be called over the back, but nowadays they say you can go over the back without contact, so now they call it a push in the back. And that is against Kench, and he picks up number 2, so he's going to get a little rest.
Okay.
So now you've got Bacigalupo and Gillis as your 2 post players back in the game. Both started the game.
Central down by 13. I know it's early, but you got to call this a key possession right now. That's Thomas Brown with the baseline shot. Gillis battles for the board for Bay City Western.
Boy, he's a big, thick kid,
Boy,
too.
He sure is.
Between those two, we're going to have an offensive foul as a moving screen. And Central with another opportunity, down 13. They have got to take advantage of these opportunities to get this back into a single digit deficit. Easy for me to say.
I know where you were going with that, Jeff, though, and you're absolutely right. Central's got to get back in this. And just what Dr. Vincent ordered.
He was listening to you, see? You got to love it. Back to a 20-10 game. Western with possession up 10.
That was number 1, DeMarcus Allen, with a big 3 ball for the Wolves.
And again, we're going to have a foul away from that. And McCullough picks it up, and probably the last person you want to put at the free throw line for Western is Frizel.
Absolutely. Obviously, the scorer for Bay City Western. And however Western does this year, you know this guy's going to be a key ingredient all year long. That's point number 16 in the first half for Friesel.
16 of the team's 21. That's how impressive that is. Second one again. He has just flat out got a sweet, smooth stroke at the free throw line, and he has scored all but 5 of his team's points.
Technique is there. It is right there.
Allen going strong to the hole, and we're going to have a block foul. And we're going to shoot 2 free throws.
Gillis with the blocking foul for Western. Allen's going to go to the line for 2.
One of Central's better free throw shooters. See if he can convert on a couple here. He says, I'll use a little bit of the friendly iron. Gets 4 or 5 pieces of iron, but all that's important is that it ends up going through the cotton.
That's right.
Western with another couple of substitutions.
You mentioned the guard play for Bay City Central in the pregame, Jeff. Allen and Washington. What I've been impressed by with these guys is the speed, how they are just lightning quick and explode to the hoop on a
That first step to the basket is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's a steal. Going the other way with another coast-to-coast kiss off the glass for the deuce. Allen's
9
excited,
points
trying
now.
to get some excitement into his team's defense. They're back to single digits. Western trying to dribble penetrate. That was an unbelievable shot by Frost. He got caught up in the air in no man's land, had to burp it up, and he had a teardrop that dropped to the basket.
Real nice basket for number 3, Kason Frost.
McCullough's going to reset the offense. Kasanowski pulls up from 22. Halfway down, couldn't get it to drop. Brown with the rebound. How about using all the high glass for the deuce?
Brown high off the glass for the Wolves. Important 2 points and a really feisty board for Brown.
Friesel pulls up from 18. And we're going to have another offensive foul as a moving screen.
Just like that, Central within 8.
And Central is in the bonus to shoot right now, but you don't do that off an offensive foul.
Right, correct.
So if people are wondering why that's the 8th team foul and they're not shooting, that's the reason. Central's really settled down and only down 8 here with 2.5 left of the first half.
Oh, terrific. Make that 6, Jeff. Number 2, Cameron Washington breaks for the hoop that time.
That was just a thing of beauty.
These guys, you always say this with high school sports, and it's really true right here. There's a bright future ahead for Bay City Central hoops. These guys are going to be a lot of fun for the next 2 years.
Friesel can't get it. Brown with the rebound, 1 and done. Western not being able to get second chance opportunities. Friesel shows good hustle knocking the ball down, but Central down 6 with 2:02 left in the first half, as they were down by about 17, I think, at one point here.
That's right.
In the first half.
Number 4, Lars Ridley steps in for the Warriors.
Cam Washington with a step back. And again, he's doing some talking right now. And boy, you just don't need to do that when you're in the midst of a comeback down by 3.
Absolutely.
They've got to be really careful.
Central has done a real nice job regaining their composure and getting themselves back into this game after taking themselves out early on. They got to stay in this. They got to keep their heads in this ball game. Just like that, it's a 3-point game.
Kasanowski feeling it. Boy, he had a great look and just went off the front iron. Freisel's going to slow this thing down. They're going to reset their offense. He says, nope, I'm feeling him from 3. Didn't follow his shot. May have been able to get his own rebound. Fight for the loose ball. And Friesel has another offensive opportunity. And we have got Allen down here on the floor.
Yeah.
And we got an official's timeout. They may have banged heads.
I saw it, actually. He took a real hard shoulder right to the face there. He might have to step out for regain his senses just for a moment. Real hard shot. 2 guys going for the ball. good no call as far as a foul, but yeah, they had to stop play for that.
Let's see who Central replaces him with. That'll be Grayson Baker coming back in the game.
Baker coming in. 24-21, Warriors lead, 1:15 to go in the first half.
As the ball will be inbounded. Frizzell's going to take this in with a nice soft touch on that teardrop. And we're going to have a
on the golf
blowing
course,
a shoe.
We call that a members bounce at the Bay County Golf Course.
Gets the shoe back on Central. We'll get possession with a $1:04 left in the first half, down 5. Kazanowski to McCullough. McCullough with the crossover. Had that thing stuck on his hip and was able to still go. And we're going to have a travel. As with 54.3 ticks left, Western up 5. And this next basket's huge here closing out this first half, no matter which team gets it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Frost wide open for a 3 ball, puts it up too strong. And then it comes back in bounds. McCullough fights with Frost for the loose change. And that ball goes out of bounds.
Central's got 35 seconds to put something together. Some words exchanged down there between number 20, Grayson Baker, and number 3, Kason Frost.
I think they're just talking about where they might meet afterwards to have a burger and a pop and talk about the activities.
Yeah, I hear La Pizza's open across the street. Why don't we go get a slice after the game, something like that.
It is good stuff indeed. I think Western's going to opt for the last shot here of this first half.
Yep. 20 seconds to go. That's the smart play, I think. Western up by 5. And looks like number 20, Grayson Baker's going to pick up the foul. Second personal foul. He's got a tough assignment guarding Frizzell tonight.
Frizzell's got to be tickling 20 if he gets a couple of free throws here.
It's funny you should say that. He's sitting at 19 right now.
He is human. He missed a free throw. Again, though, we talked about that earlier. Late in the half, your legs are tired. You don't get that spring from your knees and your legs as you go up, and therefore that first shot goes up off the front iron. Look at the adjustment that he'll make here for the second free throw, and we'll see what happens.
I think that's a great coaching point you make. You want to practice your free throws when you're a little fatigued. Practice that stroke and get used to doing that. Frizzell hits 1 of 2, and he does have 20 now in this first half.
What a great job by Adamczyk. Anticipated that passing lane, gave up the body to knock that ball away with 6.6 left in the half. They'll inbound the ball again.
Wolves would definitely like to get within 5 going into half. Done a real nice job getting themselves back into this.
Will
Baker
they have an
from
opportunity
downtown.
from Grayson? Cannot make it happen. At the end of the first half, it's Western 27, Central 21. Back in a moment, we'll recap the first half, set the stage for the second half here on Bay County TV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back at the half, Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent. This was a half where 2 punches were thrown, not literally, but Western with the huge run early, up 13 points. Central regained their composure and came back and made this a great half of basketball.
Yeah, as you said before we got on the air tonight, you said there's a chance that Western could run Central off the court tonight, I was afraid that was going to happen in the first quarter, and I thought it was happening, but Central did a real nice job to regain their composure and get themselves right back into this. We got a 6-point deficit, and we have 2 quarters to play tonight.
Well, and again, Central going in at the half, knowing that they were able to work their way back into this game, has one major thing to talk about at halftime, and what are we going to do to neutralize Jack Frizzell in the second half?
Right. Frizzell already with 20 points, on pace to score 40 tonight. They're going to have to find some way to get the other 4 guys on the court to beat him if they can do it, and somehow neutralize Frizzell.
When you look at this Central team, a lot of people are going to wait, they don't have the height, therefore what they've got are young, quick, aggressive players, and you talked in the first half, that aggressive first step to the hole allows them to get there with an opportunity to finish.
Absolutely. Allen and Washington are a terrific combo in the backcourt. They're going to do some real damage for the Wolves this year, and what they might have challenges with down low, they're going to make up for in the backcourt.
They're going to get to the free throw line with dribble penetration. Again, I think the second half comes down to which team can make it happen at the free throw line.
That's right. Anybody's ball game. It's a rivalry game, Central versus Western. Stay with us tonight. It's going to be fun.
Back for all the second half action in just a moment here on Bay County TV.
There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
All right, back for the second half, just underway. The first basket of the second half belongs to the Warriors.
Number 1, Tyler Adamchak puts it in, gives the Warriors an 8-point lead.
And at the other end, the Western foul is on Owen Bacigalupo. Ball out of bounds.
Bacigalupo has about good 70 pounds on number 1, DeMarcus Allen. Put one hip into him, and Allen moved a little bit.
He moved. Going to the hole. We're going to have a foul called. And that's exactly what we said at the half. Central's success in the second half is going to be dribble penetration. Yep. Now, you can do multiple things off that dribble penetration. You can try and finish and get fouled, or you can dish to the open wing for a wide open 3 look.
I did like the look of that. Number 1, DeMarcus Allen at the line.
So we look at when he was down in the first half, obviously cleared the cobwebs and is able to come back and contribute to start the third quarter.
That's right. That's right. Love that quick step to the hoop. This is going to be fun for the next 2 years.
Yes. As a make of both, it's 29-23. Again, a half a minute into our third quarter.
Allen now into double figures for the Wolves, 10 points.
So Allen and Washington need to be a couple of the leading scorers. There's Gillis. We talked at the half. Was it on the air or off? But Gillis will be the factor in the second half because they are really going to do what they can to shut Frizzell down. And Gillis is the other guy that can light it up, and he has a triple in the corner.
Big time 3-ball to answer the Wolves.
Has a nice penetration by McCullough, can't finish. At the other end, back with a kiss off the glass for the deuce, Ridley. And it's an 11-point lead. Boy, Western's starting the second half off like they started the first quarter.
They sure did. Warriors back up by 11.
Cam Washington with a wide open look, can't get it. Ridley doesn't see much there, gives the ball off to Frost. They're going to control this into the offensive set. Frizzell squares up the feet, can't get it to drop. Long rebound in the corner down to Cam Washington. Allen wide open for a 3-ball, and boy, whenever he's got a chance to square those feet up and let it fly, he can shoot the ball.
I think you got to take that shot when you're wide open. Allen did a nice job putting it in.
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
Frizzell going strong to the hole. Central just doesn't have a physical matchup for him, and he knows it, and he is it's going to have a finish with a big game. He's got 22 already. Central trying to answer. And look at Gillis with a big-time rebound as it's one and done for the Central offense. Frost trying to dribble, penetrate, puts it up. We're going to call a foul on the floor before the shot, and it'll be out of bounds on the baseline. Now, when that ball gets entered into play, kind of how you can determine where it's going in is go from corner to the top of the key. And it's not exactly like that, but basically if it's inside the triangle, it goes on the baseline. If it's outside that triangle, it goes to the sideline.
Gotcha.
So there is Frizzell again, and he felt like there was contact. Central said, nope, we just played great defense. We got the one and done. We're down the floor. Frizzell sure did close out on Allen in a hurry in the corner, though. Kazanowski on the other end of the floor tried to get that to Brown, and he didn't have any place to go. Kazanowski says, I can feel this. Had a great look and could not finish from the corner.
Yes, he did.
Coach Doobie will take that look all night long. Those are great quality shots by the Central
fall
offense.
Eventually. Hopefully tonight.
Here comes Kazanowski quickly down the floor. Allen with a great look.
Ooh.
And they're going to have an and
How
one.
about that? That's
that
number
is
23,
by
Thomas Brown on the drive and the score. He's going to go to the line for, what do the kids call that again?
And one.
And one.
As an official, I'll tell you, those two words are my least favorite words in all of officiating, because anytime anything happens, and one, and one, and one. I hear it in my sleep sometimes. I don't like it. If it's an and one, we'll get it.
Okay. Was kind of thinking about my next PA gig at Central. I was thinking about adding that to my game. I think I'll hold off because you said that.
No, the kids will love it. As the shot is off and the rebound comes down to Wilcox. Frost into the front court. He and Frizzell are going to switch sides. Frizzell is going to be held by Brown. Brown kind of gave that look like I thought I had all ball, but he must have got a little arm according to our official.
I tell you, I'm a long way away, but I'm kind of with Brown on that one. I didn't see much contact. I've seen a lot more tonight.
Body language will sometimes tell you a lot on the kid.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it when we come back. At the break right now, 4:40 left, Central timeout. Down 8, 36-28. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Welcome back here on Bay County TV as Western in possession, up by 8, and the ball underneath going to Gillis, and Central able to pick up that loose change off the floor. McCullough strong to the hole, uses his body to shadow off the defender and kisses it off the high glass for the deuce.
That was a one-hand drive, teardrop, very athletic. Good 2 points for the Wolves.
Frost wide open for the three. Ball squares the feet, and great job coming out, but then going back out is a great job by Wilcox, as he had a soft touch from about 4 feet in front of the basket.
And impressive offensive execution all the way around. 4 passes in that possession, and Wilcox puts it in for the Warriors. Western up by 8.
Travel. Nope, they're going to call a foul. That's what the official is saying there. Yes, they did travel, but what caused the travel was the contact.
Sure.
So Kazanowski will inbound the ball for Bay City Central. Gets the ball to Brown. Brown wants to dribble, penetrate, and he's got the offensive foul. Little bit too predetermined. He wanted to go baseline. Western's defense saw it, and whenever you can get your foot that close to the end line and shut that defender down, he squared up and took the charge. You got to be a man to take a charge in this game, because you got to give your body up, and that's not fun. At the other end, Kazanowski with a great backside rebound off the one and done. Finds Cam Washington in the corner. Great look. Tinkle at the twine on the trifecta.
Washington down with 10 for the Wolves. Sweet looking three from the corner.
Both guards from Central in double figures. And that ball nearly taken away. Here's Gillis trying to answer at the other end. What a smooth and sweet stroke. As we're going to have time out on the floor with a huge basket for Western. Back up to an 8-point lead. They call timeout. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
In the fight against cancer, you are never alone. The Covenant Cancer Care Center pledges to stand by you every step of the way. And standing with us now is MD Anderson Cancer Network, a program of MD Anderson Cancer Center, one of America's leading cancer care providers. This extraordinary affiliation gives families unprecedented access to world-renowned cancer treatment plans close to home. Together, we can fight cancer, hand in hand.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent, along with you, Jared Doan, producing, directing, and cameraman tonight. Having a great time with an excellent ball game at Western as the Warriors with an 8-point lead right now. We hit the 3-minute mark left in our third quarter of play. McCullough with the extra pass. Coming up just a little bit short. Brown has that ball rejected away. I love the dribble penetration from Central and the extra pass. The shot didn't go in, but that is excellent offense by Bay City Central.
Beautiful feed by McCullum, and I tell you what, Brown didn't get the call. Looked like one of those two things could have been called a foul, but not tonight.
And he gets teed. Got to hold your composure at this stretch in the ball game. No matter what happens, you cannot do this because you're going to cost your team 2 free throws and possession of the basketball. And I'm sure he's going to come over and Coach Doobie's going to have a little chat with him because he's going to come out of the ball game. Coach Doobie's probably doing a great thing right now. He's probably just giving him a chance to chill. One of his teammates comes up and talks to him. And Coach Doobie, I'll tell you what he's saying to the official right now. He's like, he was getting mauled by the other 3 guys.
That's right.
You know, why wasn't there a foul before? He had to react to the situation. Whether that's true or not, that's just the banter that goes back and forth. He's trying to put a thought in the head. But Tom Jablonski, he's an old veteran official, and he's going to go over there and he's going to tell Coach Doobie, this is exactly what I saw. I saw a bunch of people going for the ball. Nobody hit the arm, and he flung the elbow, and then he had the conversation, and we're not going to allow that to happen. I had to tee him up. He gave me no choice.
There is a granular truth to what Doobie is saying right now, and you worded it quite well right there. And you're right that the deal is to keep your composure in the tough times. There are going to be some gray area calls every single night, and if you're going to jaw at a referee and if you're going to shove the opponent, you're never, ever going to win that battle. Nothing good is going to happen. Yeah. It is hard to remember that when you're in the heat of battle.
It is indeed.
I'm not making excuses for anyone, but I will say that these are some pretty tough times, and these guys have been dying to get on the court for about 2 straight months, and we got a rivalry game in game 2, so the burners are turned up.
Exactly, as they should be. You know, you love the intensity of this game. As Frizzell split 2 at the free throw line, and now a pass into the corner. Forced pass. Allen's going to come down the floor and not going to dribble penetrate. Great look to Cameron Washington. A little bit too strong. Kazanowski gets the long rebound in the corner and tips that ball away. It's down on the floor. Frizzell finds Gillis. He's going to go fingertip roll to the basket. At the other end, though, there's going to be a great answer by number 24, Jamario Harris. And I'll tell you what, that's an athlete.
Yeah, sure is. First 2 points of the game are a pretty impressive first 2 points of the game there.
And Central needed those 2 points. They get back to single digits. We got a foul on the play.
Action happening so fast, didn't get to mention Frizzell's scrappy rebound and a real sharp feed to Gillis. And a nice 2 for Gillis.
And again, when you go straight at the basket, that is really, really hard to feather that thing in. Most guys will try and go left or right and try and kiss it off the glass. As the ball is inbounded right now. Ball stripped away. And we're going to have a foul on the play, and that's going to go against Kench. That's going to be at least his third.
1:40 to go in this third quarter. Central still down by 9. 16 fouls for the Wolves, 5 for the Warriors.
Kazanowski with a great look, can't get it. Look at McCullough with the rebound. He's wide open, squares up the feet on the three and tickles the twine. That brings it back to a 6-point ball game with $1:20 left in our third quarter of play. Central just seems to have an answer every time Western makes a run.
That's right. Western just can't seem to put these guys away tonight.
How about a
boy, that
little
Gillis is
fade
moving his
away
best.
with Gillis? He's doing in the second half what Frizzell did in the first half. Trying to answer at the other end. Harris with a big-time rebound. Kazanowski wants to dribble, penetrate. Can't get the shot to drop. And the rebound comes down. And there's going to be a bit of a frustration on the foul.
Tell you, if this works out for Western, you got to give number 24, Luke Gillis, possible MVP nod for tonight's game. He's really made his presence. He's got, let's see, 3, 6, 8, 11, 13 points now for the Warriors, and they seem to have come at key moments in tonight's game.
Both officials do this with their thumb and their baby finger, telling them the next foul puts both teams into the bonus.
There we go.
So that's the nonverbals that you get from officials during the game. Wilcox has got Harris on him defensively. Frizzell wide open for a 3-ball. A little bit short off the front iron. And we're going to have a foul on the play as Harris is a great athlete. And I didn't see what happened. Did they issue another technical?
Kind of sounded like it. I was looking down at my score sheet. Yeah, he did.
Oh, and that's going against Gillis.
That was number 24, Jamario Harris for the Wolves, who fought hard for the rebound and then took a hard fall to the floor.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, he fell on his funny bone, but it's not really funny right now because he's feeling the tinglies going through that right arm right now. And when you're a right-handed shooter, that makes it going to make it tough to shoot free throws as he is just trying to get feeling and sensation to stop the tinglies.
Excellent point.
Never figured out where that word funny bone came from because if you've ever hit it, and we all have, it ain't funny.
I'd be okay if I never do that again.
Yes. And actually, this is all time that's good for Harris as he tries to regain feeling. He'll have a much better chance of stroking free throws. Oh, and that's Gillis's 5th foul with the technical foul. He may have picked up a foul and a tech, so they're going to shoot the 1-and-1, and then they're going to shoot the techs.
And you said that's Gillis's 5th personal foul, so he's out of the game.
Correct.
Oh, my.
So now Central gets to determine who they want to shoot. They're going to have Allen shoot the 2 techs, then they get possession.
This is just the break Central needed to get themselves right back into this contest.
Nice stroke for Allen. As coming back into the ball game will be a Grayson Baker. Kazanowski comes out. Second free throw attempt forthcoming to make it a 6-point ball game. Well, he's taking his time. Bend of the knees, flick of the wrist, halfway down, and it won't drop. Now we go opposite table at midcourt for the inbound, and Central's ball down 7 with 31.3 ticks left in the third.
Important possession here for the Wolves. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
We're going to have a foul out front. And just as in the first game, Mike, I really feel like the officials are sending a message right now. Sure. Everything is going to get called until they come back to a semblance of basketball. Rough play will not be tolerated, and we better bring our sleeping bags. There's going to be a whole lot of free throws shot here in the fourth quarter.
That's right. Central with a shot to get within 5.
Harris says, now that I got feeling back in my right arm, that first free throw with a little friendly roll of the iron drops, and he'll get a second opportunity.
That's right. Oh.
What do we got?
Is that a lane violation?
So the shot is going to be good. And to the free throw line for Central will be the 1-and-1.
My
down
goodness.
5.
So a foul was called
as the shot went in. It was an elbow foul, and that was from, I believe, Wilcox.
I'll tell you, that would be the second thing tonight. I can't remember the last time I saw.
Is Grace and Baker with the first of 2.
Central now within 4.
And look what you've got on the floor right now. You have got a freshman that is all heart. He's a big, strong freshman kid. He dominated at Thomas Lincoln Handy Middle School last year. Gets the tie up, and his team another possession, down 4 with 25.5 left in the third. Willing to go down on the floor to scrap it out. Washington going strong to the hole. Can't get it. We're going to have an offensive foul as Frizzell stood there and took the charge.
Excellent point about some freshman leadership, Jeff. You put me in mind of, I was asked to do a PA job for a Handy Western game a few years ago, and I was really impressed with these guys.
That
I remember
game.
that.
Yep.
I was really impressed with these guys as 7th and 8th graders. Very bright future ahead for the Wolves.
The shot looks a little bit long, and look at the backside rebound. Long 3. And Frizzell with the rebound. Long shot at the end of 3. 46-42. Western by 4. Opening possession of the fourth quarter. We'll go back to Western back in a moment on Bay County TV.
So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Cauqualan, or give us a call at 989-684-9607.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Vincent along with you, Jared, doing the camera work tonight, Doan, and man, we're going to have ourselves a fun fourth quarter, Mike.
Somehow, some way, Central has found a way to get themselves right in the mix tonight. 8 minutes to go, down by 4, and full of confidence.
They've just played gritty ball. Frizzell strong to the hole. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. He's missed a couple of free throws tonight, but he is a very proficient free throw shooter.
That's right. Definitely the shooter on the floor tonight with 24 points and counting, trying to make it 26 right now. He won't get to 26 yet.
When you're in this situation, tired legs, again, you got to make that adjustment. And he comes up short on the second. We're going to have a lane violation on Bay City Central. And another free throw attempt for Frizzell. Boy, just mistakes, too, because you had the rebound. And Frizzell makes one of 3.
You don't want to give anybody a second chance, but of all the guys on the floor you don't want to give a second chance to, number 2 is the one.
McCullough trying to go baseline. And again, can't get it as Frost comes down the floor. Trying to take their time. Underneath, great job of not forcing up a shot. And we're going to have a Central foul, and 7:22 left again. We're going to have a lot of free throw shot here in the fourth quarter.
I think you're right, Jeff. You called that play midway through the third quarter. That's number 44, Owen Bacigalupo, at the line for the 1-and-1 for the Warriors.
That's off the mark. I grew up with the Bacigalupo, so that just rolls off my tongue.
It took me about 2 seasons in the BFL to get that one right.
Yep. The brother Andy I went to school with, he is a great culinary teacher. Has a beautiful job by McCullough. How did he find room on the baseline behind the backboard to put that shot in? That was impressive, and now it's a 3-point deficit.
I did not see that happening all the way from the baseline to the hoop, and somehow McCullough made it work.
Boy, Frost with an answer at the other end with a big tickling of the twine on the trifecta.
Cates and Frost drops the bomb for the Warriors. Warriors back up by 6.
Trying to dribble, penetrate, step back, 3. Ice water in his veins.
Oh, we got a shootout.
What
Washington now with 13 tonight and a big 3-ball for the Wolves. Central within 3. What a game.
Trying to run a little weave back and forth. They're going to look for the right possession. There was no possession. Yep. Ball taken away. Slap back. Harris sends that thing down the floor. And look at the job by Adamczyk. Hustling back on defense, filling the passing lane.
I tell you, it's impossible to not talk about that rivalry spirit that happens. These guys growing up together and these guys knowing each other's moves and going every single tick of the clock. Full blast.
Bacigalupo with a nice drop step to the hole. Could not finish. Harris with great defense on him.
McCullough with another big rebound for the Wolves. Also making his presence known in the home stretch.
McCullough with a nice kiss off the high glass for the deuce. It's 50-49 right now. What a great basketball game we're watching tonight.
Just like that, McCullough with 6 points in the last 2 minutes for the Wolves.
Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Bacigalupo. Central with an opportunity to take the lead in this basketball game.
And that will be the first lead of tonight if they can make it happen here with 5 minutes to go in the game.
McCullough's been their go-to here the last few trips down the floor. Washington trying to go underneath. Extra pass back to Allen. Can't get the shot to drop. Frost down the floor. He wants to go coast to coast with it. Contact.
And doesn't.
And there is no call, and it's just a basket, 52-49. Nice job by Harris as he just had his hands up. McCullough going strong to the hole. Defense thought they had verticality, and there was a little bit of contact. Somebody was moving late for Western to create that contact.
Hard not to make that call as a referee. Nice drive to the hoop by number 3, Lajane McCullough.
He's really been the spark the last 3-4 minutes for Bay City Central as he's made some big shots, and he's trying to become the 3rd Central player to get into double-digit scoring. As Adamczyk gets the rebound. Frizzell is trying to conserve a little energy right now as he's walking the ball up the floor. That's not what they want, but they need him on the floor, so they need him to get a little blow as he brings the ball down the court. And we're going to have Grayson Baker with the foul, and that will send Western back to the free throw line. I think Frost is going to go to the line.
Both teams in the double bonus now. Frost is going to take 2 at the line. 4:25 to go tonight in another terrific rivalry game. Had the pleasure of seeing 2 tonight.
And the first game didn't disappoint, and certainly the second one has not yet either.
Absolutely not. Jeff, do you have that date in mind when both teams meet again in the doubleheader at Central?
Saturday the 27th. As the second shot goes in, it's a 5-point lead for Western, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back on Bay County TV, 5-point lead for Western. Central in possession, nearing the 4-minute mark of the ball game. Jeff Doan along with Mike Vincent. We have been treated to a couple of good ones as McCullough's trying to drive to the hole. Nice job of squaring him off. Allen sends one up a little bit short. And this is a huge change of possession here, as we'll see what Western can do, but Central needs a stop here with 4 minutes left in the game.
Tell you, Jeff, I'm just not sure that last decision, when you're within 5 and short time to go in the game, I'm not sure if it's the time to rush a 3-ball from long range. I think you need to make that bucket.
It's still way too much time to just settle for a 3. You dribble penetrate.
James.
If you can get somebody with their feet squared up off the dribble penetration to hit that open wing, then that's a great shot.
Yeah. Allen at the line.
This is
for
a good
the
free
Wolves.
throw shooter for Central. As Wilcox will come back into the ball game, and he'll replace Adamczyk. Well, you gain about 4 to 5 inches of body.
Absolutely.
With Wilcox over Adamczyk.
Nice chest move by Coach DeMario Walker. Rebounds are going to be a factor in the last few minutes of tonight's game. Allen hits 2 for the Wolves. 16 tonight.
2 big free throws indeed.
Absolutely.
As it's a 3-point game right now. Ball tipped away. As the ball goes back over, if that thing goes to Frizzell, he is wide open going to the hole for an easy deuce. So nice hands by Central to knock that ball away.
Yep. Excellent, Dave.
As the ball goes into Bachkalupa, and we got a reach and foul on Harris. Boy, I'll tell you what. Any head coaches nowadays that still have a full head of hair, yeah, because so many things happen in a ball game where you just grab on your forehead. But, you know, Central's got a very young team. They're still learning. They're progressing. Coach Doobie has got a great mindset for handling that. First free throw by Bachkalupo comes up short. We've still got a 1-possession game with 3:47 left. Second free throw is the same as the first off that front iron. Central fortunate that Western didn't cash in at the free throw line. 3-point game right now as McCullough trying to dribble. He travels. And Coach Doobie's going, that's not what we wanted right there. We're not forcing the activity. These kids are trying to understand that this is a close game. These are all meaningful possessions. You've got to be patient and get a great look with the amount of time you've got left. Frizzell is double teamed, gets that ball over to Wilcox. Nice job. Dribble penetration, but unable to finish. Frost gets that ball back into the corner. And Ridley brings it back out front to Frost. Screen on the play. Now Ridley trying to dribble penetrate. As the ball goes in the corner, Wilcox can't save it. And again, a little miscommunication by Western results in an unforced error and a turnover.
This has been a long game and a physical game. And I think right now both teams are trading mental errors, and it's about even for the last 2 minutes.
Yes, it has.
And again, early in the season, first time on the court in a while, emotions are running high. It's going to happen.
And we're going to have a foul. Let's see if they're going to do this after the shot or if they're going to give him 2 free throws.
They are going to give him 2. I think I saw the referee signal. Hard foul called on Frizzell. Kazowski bumped his head on the wood floor, but he's ready to shoot some free throws.
He's tough as nails.
Yeah.
Or as my dad would say, tough as a $2 steak.
Remember a football game this year, we're playing Mount Pleasant, a very, very tough Mount Pleasant team. outsized, outsped, and Mount Pleasant was taking some hard shots at the young quarterback. And that guy, remember, just popping up fresh as a daisy and ready to play all night long. And they went nose to nose with a very good team. I saw Kazanowski's spirit on the football field about 5 months ago, and I'm seeing it again tonight.
Adamczyk back in the game, sends it to the corner. Frost does a nice job. Coach Walker did a great job there, and he told Frost, just go reset the offense right now. We got time. We've got a 3-point lead with 2:22 left in the ball game. And take your time. Frost gets that over. Wilcox looks for a 3-ball. Tickles the twine on the trifecta. Ice water in his veins.
That was a big 3-ball for the Warriors.
That was a confident 3-ball. Washington get it to McCullough, tried to answer. Shot off the mark. Look at Harris with the big-time rebound. Kazanowski trying to make it happen. On the backside, Kazanowski gets the loose change, can't get it. Harris with the rebound, the putback, and he'll go to the free throw line to try and make it a 3.
4 offensive rebounds for the Wolves, and number 24, Jamario Harris, finally gets it to go, and he's at the line for a 3.
He fits the bill of athlete.
Yeah.
Wilcox just picked up his 5th. As Bachkalupo will come back into the ball game.
Tell you what, this is the time where Central's got to make most of the little opportunities that they're getting here. We got
Looks like Central's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating, both meeting current state guidelines. And we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu.
Tonight, as Harris is going to shoot a free throw, try and make it a 3-point play. Shot just a little bit strong. Rebound comes down to Friesel. Friesel gets his hands on the ball, and he's going to take his time bringing it into the front court with a spin move into the corner. Nice look trying to move it around. They're going to take their time. Adamczyk's going to burp up a 3, and that's probably not the shot that Coach Walker was looking for. At the other end of the floor, Washington's going up, and we're going to have Friesel picking up the foul, and Cameron Washington's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
Wolves to get within 2 tonight. Still have not had the lead from the opening whistle until now. Washington to get them within 2.
Nice stroke at the free throw line.
14 points so far for the young guard for Bay City Central.
Well, you're going to run out of paper again here in this game. Good thing I brought 2 pens. Second free throw's a little bit short. McCullough gets the offensive rebound. He's going to burp it up from 23. Can't get it to drop. Allen had that ball last touched off his hand. But I'll tell you, Central is getting after it on the offensive glass.
There's a phrase in a movie I'm thinking about. They found their half-to. Now is half-to time.
The ball into the hands of Bachkalupo into the front court. Trying to move that ball around. It goes back up top to Frost. Friesel has got his hands on it. McCullough trying to guard him. Ridley, they're trying to do a little weave up top right now. Take a little time off the clock. Look for a backdoor cut.
Just under a minute to go in regulation.
Nice job looking opposite, knowing that there's somebody wide open there. Ball tipped out of bounds and goes back. Again, when you're up by 4 with 45 seconds left, do not force that ball in the middle. They've got to be patient. And we'll talk for a minute. When we get a second before this end of the game, we'll elaborate on that a bit. As the ball gets inbound, Coach Walker takes a timeout. We're going to keep it right here, and I'm going to expound upon this point. With both of these young teams, In order to win close games, Mike, you need to be in tight games. You need to have meaningful possessions in the fourth quarter of the game so that you know how you have to execute down the stretch to make that play to win the game. And both of these programs have had trouble with that. A lot of the fourth quarter games in the last couple of years, they've been down 20 or 30 points. That changes the meaning of that possession down the stretch.
I think that's an excellent point, Jeff. This is a learning experience for both teams tonight. Obviously, they both want to win, and obviously every single guy in this court is given 100%, but there are right ways to give 100%, and there are not right ways to give 100%. Here's hoping both teams learn from this tonight, because it is a great game.
And with 45.2 seconds left, we have been really blessed with a double dip tonight.
Yeah.
First game was a 4-point game, went right down to the wire. This one looked like a blowout early, but Central answered the bell more than admirably. And the ball inbounded right now by the Western Warriors. And they're going to try and get that ball in the corner. Nope, they're going to slide it out front. I think they want Frizel's hands on the ball in case Central has to foul. Very careful here when you have a foul that you have to make an attempt to go for the basketball. If you foul somebody without, then it can be construed as an intentional foul, and you do not want two shots in the ball.
That's a backbreaker at this point in the game. Number 10 for the Warriors, Luke Failing at the line to shoot some key free throws for the Warriors.
Cooking Master was a little strong on the first. Oh, it is Failing, excuse me.
Very important free throw here, makes it a two-possession game with 39 seconds to go.
And he misses both, but he gets the long rebound. Nobody from Central boxed out on that play, and the ball fell right back into his lap. He just missed two free throws, but he's going to have an opportunity to go back to the line to shoot two more.
As I said earlier, I've been watching basketball for about 44 years now, and that's the third thing I don't think I have ever seen before.
When you are a defensive team at the line defending the basket, you must speak to the two people up top and say, who's got shooter? That has to be communicated between the two top guys, so there is no doubt in anybody's mind somebody steps in front of the shooter to make certain he's not a factor in the rebound.
Absolutely.
And that didn't happen with Bay City Central and cost them two free throws.
That's right. Failing still at the line, shooting two more.
After you miss two, you kind of got a feeling at the free throw line that you're going to groove on one of them. It's a two-possession game right now with the second free throw attempt forthcoming. And 1 of 4 at the free throw line for Failing. And the ball comes back into the hands of Allen as he takes it up with 30 seconds left into the front court for Central. Harris off the screen. Cam Washington squares it up. Tickles the twine on the trifecta. As we're down inside 20 seconds.
17 now for Washington with
ball
that last three ball.
I'm telling you what, that may have been the best foul of the ball game because Bacigalupo may be a great free throw shooter. He has not shot the ball well tonight. Allen recognized that. As soon as he touched the ball, he went over and fouled him. Now it's up to Bacigalupo to prove him wrong at the line.
Heads up play by Allen. Central down by 1. 16 seconds to go tonight. Bacigalupo at the line.
Comes up a little bit short on the first offering.
And Central's going to have the ball in their hands here to tie it or go for the win.
A little bit strong there. This last possession should determine the outcome of the ball game. Coach Doobie says, oh, maybe we need a timeout to talk about this.
Let's just go ahead and talk about taking our first lead of the night tonight with 11 seconds to go.
We're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
At Covenant Healthcare, we lead with the most advanced technology. We lead with the most experienced, comprehensive medical and surgical teams. We lead with partnerships to teach our future doctors and with organizations who help us bring world-renowned care close to home. We lead because our patients are at the center of everything we do. Covenant Healthcare, Extraordinary care for every generation.
Here we go, back on Bay County TV. Here we go, Kazanowski will inbound the ball. And the inbound goes to Allen. Trying to race to the floor. No. Ball loose on the ground.
In there.
Kazanowski can't get it. That is all there is. There isn't any more. Central with 2 opportunities in the last 5 seconds to score the game winner. Comes up short, but nobody leaves this gym disappointed tonight, Mike.
It's a game nobody should have lost. That was a fun one. 58-57 Bay City Western. That was number 44, Owen Bacigalupo, with a big board at the end to seal it for the Warriors.
We'll take a break and come back and put the wraps on this one in just a moment on Bay County TV. Back here with the post-game show on Bay County TV. We needed a minute just to catch our breath after these 2 great basketball games tonight.
Absolutely, Jeff. You asked me to do this yesterday, and I was happy to hear. I was watching a game finally. And then I get to sit here and call it with you. That's a bonus. And then it's a Bay City Central Western doubleheader classic. Thank you for letting me do this again.
Oh, it was an honor and a pleasure to have you. But when you look at both of these games, this is exactly what the rivalry is about. 2 close, very hard-fought basketball games.
Absolutely. Every single kid on that court tonight wanted it bad for both sides. And every single kid did everything he could do to make it happen tonight. That's what's fun about high school sports.
A huge turning point in the game for Western is when Gillis picked up his 5th foul on that technical. Yes. He picked up number 4 on a foul and then a technical and was out of the game because he really was the offensive spark in the second half after Frizzell made it happen in the first half for Western with 20.
That's right. Gillis left the game with 13 points, and about 6 of them came in that 3 minutes before he got his 5th foul. So, yeah, that was a key opportunity for Central, and they definitely made the most of it.
We don't often talk about moral victories. I believe Central had a moral victory tonight because they realized they could play with a good basketball team, and they had 3 or 4 opportunities in this ball game to fold the tent. They were down 13, they were down 15, they were not playing well, and they responded time and time again, and that's got to make Coach Doobie proud.
Yeah. You do have to be impressed with the guts Central showed tonight. They got down by a lot early, and it's very easy for a team to say to themselves quietly that it isn't going to happen tonight. They didn't do that. They had some issues with composure throughout tonight's game, and that comes with intensity. That comes from dying to be on the court for the last 2 months and finally getting there against a rivalry team. I think the mission now for them is to channel that energy and to channel that passion into making good things happen consistently all night long. If they can do that, they're going to win some ball games this year.
And when Coach Doobie's going to go over the film of this game, he's going to be able to point out a ton of great things that they were able to do to get back into this game.
Yep. Dynamic duo, Washington and Allen, 13 points and 15 points apiece for those young kids out there. They're going to have some fun, too, this year.
Oh, yeah, and then there's the winning team tonight, DeMario Walker, right. As we look at the Western Warriors again. When you're in situations in a ball game, and we talked during one of the timeouts about this, you have to learn how to make plays down the stretch in close ball games in order to win it, and Western made just enough plays to come out of this with a victory tonight.
Yes, they did. They had a lot of key plays. Every single guy contributed on that court. You got to hand it to Jack Frizzell, too. What an athlete. 24 points in Game 2 tonight. He's going to have a fun year.
Well, it was indeed a lot of fun doing the double dip.
Sure was.
Mike, pleasure having you step up on short notice. You did a masterful job. Always a pleasure to be by your side.
Thank you, Jeff. Anytime.
On behalf of the crew, I'm Jeff Doan, along with Mike Vincent and Jared Doan. Thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.